gentlemen, we came here to make you move.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Stranger by the Hour, episode 168, February 27th. And this evening, we got a bit of a hang going on, man. We're going to chill. Aaron's driving back from a business trip, had to go stack some cheddar, and we had to push an episode. So I reached out to the boys, and I was like, hey, fellas, you want to come on and talk some grease, man? You want to talk about some weird shit? So we got Trevor Dustin, Chad Story, and Jordan Kuhn back in the house, man. We filmed our episode together back in the day, but Trevor wasn't there. But Trevor's been here recently, just a few episodes ago. Yeah. So what's up, fellas?
Neil.
Yeah, man, the gang's back together.
How you doing?
Yeah.
So we met a long time ago, actually a little over 20 years now, because there was a birthday for the Marine Corps Special Operations Command, which is how we all met. But I'm a big fan of sort of like what I assume or what I imagine the Greeks did to figure things out, stood around a fire, with the dudes, and were just like, through logic and reason and rhetoric, they would decide whose idea was most reasonable and was closest to the truth, right? And I think that probably goes all the way back to caveman days, like about guys just fucking standing around a fire. And like for us, it might be like smoking cigarettes at the back of the Humvee,
Mm-hmm.
Like you just gather up and you just sort of like stand around, and if it's the dudes in the fire with the cave, you look up at the sky and you're like, hey man, what the fuck is that? So that's kind of what I figure we do tonight, man, is we're just standing around. Hey, it's late, you know what I'm saying? And we're all honest men, allegedly. So we're just gonna sit around the campfire right here, man, and be like, what in the fuck is going on? Because I would assume, I would assess, I would hope that most people, at least people listen to this show, but people in the country in general, like I don't really know what more people need to see to understand what the fuck is going on. But let's just phrase it as a question so we can throw it around the horn, man. So Trevor, you kick it off, man. What's going on right now?
The entire globe is encompassed in a battle between good and evil, and the forces of evil have been fighting a war that they have been holding on to for, I don't know, at least 3,000-4,000 years. And Western civilization just kind of went to sleep for about that period of time. And now we're waking up and we're realizing that all these people are casting spells and doing bad things to kids and tricking all of us into paying taxes and interest.
You're up, Chad.
I agree. I think something that I've been getting into here lately is the Satan's Little season.
Yeah, you mentioned.
So I've been reading about that and trying to just trying to figure it out. I don't know if it's a psyop or something, because to me it's new. That's been popping up on YouTube. That's usually where I get most of my stuff. This last year, I quit Twitter. I quit, all social media. So I pretty much get the Patreon and whatever I want to follow on YouTube. But I think it's exactly what Trevor was saying. Like something's had a hold of this world for a long time. It's been keeping people down. But the little season, it may even be to where like the Napoleon Wars was to destroy the old world and everything. Where it's possible that like the second coming already happened. Jesus lived on earth for 1,000 years or so. And then whatever, he took the people up, did whatever. I don't know. I'm just interested in it. And the more I look into it, it seems like we're definitely living in Satan's fucking little season or something. With all the pedophilia, with just it's fucking evil out there. And the one thing that I feel like we look at our screens all we want, but you look up at the sky every damn day and you're looking at chemtrails just crossed in the sky now. And then you can look up at it and be like, oh, we're gonna have some good rain or something here in a couple days. And if you reach out to your local doctors, some of them might speak to you and tell you that they go off the chemtrails as well. And they'll say, hey, I know that I'm going to have so many clients come in because they're going to be sick just by looking at the sky. There you go.
All right, Jordan.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's kind of encouraging though, because all of us have spent the last 10, 15, 20 years being gaslit by normal people. You're crazy. None of this is true. All your woo-woo is like, pull it together. This is a scientific, rational universe. And dude, I mean, whether or not I believe or that, the elites definitely do believe in that. You know what I mean? Like, so real simple equation. There's us, and then there's a tiny group of people that are somehow hijacked our energy and are utilizing it to control the whole thing, the whole show. And for some reason, it's coming to light. I don't know if that's good or bad, or if that's a trick or not. I don't know what's happening, but it's interesting times.
Yeah, I agree with everything everyone said. And I also assess that it's been going on for a long time. I don't think this is, I think I almost think sometimes our systems of government are like gain of function testing via society control. Like, oh, is this society going to work in this section? Is this society going to work on this section? Oh, communism doesn't really work on these guys over here, but it works like a champ on these guys over here. It's dude, I think what happened is way back in antiquity somewhere, some human figured out the power of lying. It's like the first fucking magic trick, man. Like way back, going back to the caveman days, man. Somebody figured out that if they lied, they would gain power over somebody. And maybe people figured that out, but then their natural, like I would say, hopefully their natural human empathy, would cause you to not do it, but I think there was people that were, those two things were magically not in that person at that time, and then you get people hip to the scam, man. You start making like priesthoods and shit. It's like, hey, we keep these secrets over here and we can make that group over there, live in a certain way as long as we keep these secrets. And I think that has been going on for a very long time. And I think whether through an external agent or maybe just as a function of the way things turn out, I think over time, these things get illuminated, right? Whether it's, priesthoods or systems of government and maybe it's just part of the human condition where eventually we recognize corruption. Mm-hmm. I mean, because eventually it results in a corrupt form, corruption results in corrupted, so it's fiat systems of currency and things can only ever result in fucking failure, and so the way I'm kind of looking at it, so agreeing with everybody said, the next thing I'm looking at is whether or not the awakening, say such as it is, because I'm not sold on whether or not it's actually happening or in what form that actually takes or what that even actually means at this point. But truth is definitely a double-edged sword, right? It can be used as a weapon. So for example, if somebody invites you over to family Thanksgiving for some reason, and you got some hip information, like you're aware that the father is like diddling the daughter, right? But for some reason the daughter's keeping it under wraps because she doesn't want to ruin she doesn't want to ruin Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like how rude is that? But you just drop that information at the table in front of like the entire family reunion at Thanksgiving. What you just said is actually true, but you might as well just chucked a fucking hand grenade into the gravy bowl, you know, like it's like that's going to be a problem, you know, what, like, so, you know, I got a couple thoughts on it, but I would like to hear what you guys have to say. Like, so how much of this information getting out, like say like the Epstein files, you know, is an organic thing, and how much could it be part of the psychological operation? Hey, man, I'm just going to tell you what the fuck I'm doing. I always bring up the scene in Braveheart in the very beginning where the King of England is like, hey, you know what? These Scots are a little bit of a problem. So what's going to happen is I'm going to send a note out via pigeon to my nobles to just tell them to roll into the wedding and bang the dude's old lady, like the prima nocta.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, movies are basically history for people. So it's in the movie. You can go see it. Like the King of England was like, yeah, go give old homegirl the grape soda. We said we weren't going to do the hobo code shit. But, and allegedly, according to history, it worked. People rolled into town on horses. So they're like, yeah, this is the truth this is the truth of how you live. We can roll in here with swords and we could do this to this lady. And what the fuck are you going to do about it? So in my mind, that may be a part of it where they can be like, yeah, check it out. Both sides of your fake old aisle over there are the most despicable people you can possibly imagine. And so now the ultimatum's in your court, you know, and it's like, you know, do you go back to your cubicle and start pushing the pencil around? Like what? Like anyway, I'll shut up. So I guess the question, Jordan, spinning it around. Chaz can get stuck in the middle for a while. Is, you know, do you think this is organically happening? Like, how do you feel about this information just being out when people are talking about shit like you just said? Like we were, you know, 10 years ago we're talking about it, and now you're hearing the quote unquote normies say it.
Yeah, it's one of a couple possible scenarios. The very worst scenario is this is just phase 2, so they're going into something way scarier, and they're just rolling, like Dunder Mifflin is downsizing, so they're throwing Michael Scott under the bus. And like, we've never even seen who the CEO of Dunder Mifflin is. We have no idea. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, all these people are not important. Trump's not important. No one's important. No one that we see on TV is of any magnitude whatsoever. The people behind the scenes, I mean, they're not even born with birth certificates. We don't know what they look like. We don't know who these people are yet. So, you know, things coming to light, like, no, I mean, nothing's coming to light. Now, it could be one or two things. There could be like some weird Game of Thrones thing happening with these families where the less crazy, like the Tyrells have gotten rid of the Lannisters. Sorry to sound like a complete dork, but
no, man, that's good.
Like that there's maybe a less crazy Luciferian family that's like, dude, we just want to like rock and roll and party. You guys are eating kids and stuff. Like, let's get rid of these people. And like, there's some weird little civil war happening. But that's just speculation on my part, so it's worthless. I don't know. There's nothing I can do with that. So, and then I guess the last possible scenario is that we really are waking up, which I guess, you know, there's a UFO researcher. What's her name? She wrote a book called American Cosmic, but she talked about the idea of both and instead of either or. A lot of this stuff with like UFOs and all this stuff, like, it's two things at once. It's such a weird paradox that's happening cosmically to us that like it could be both things at the same time. So a lot of things could be occurring at the same time. And one of them is that humanity is literally going through like some kind of spiritual, psychological renaissance, and we are waking up, and like the energy of the planet's changing. And, you know, I know that sounds super new agey, but I don't know. I hate new age, by the way. So
I think everything that you said, Jordan, is exactly, in my opinion, what's happening. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, but people are, like you say, like normies are waking up. But I mean, some days I feel like aware to everything, and then I hear new stuff, and I'm like, how did I not think of that? You know,
yeah.
Like it's like we're constantly NPCs that are trying to be woke or whatever you want to call it, you know, aware. But then every time you go to sleep and come back, it's like what did I learn? You know, how much did I learn? I mean, that's hard to follow, Jordan, because I think you nailed everything.
It's a lot. It's a lot to. It's a big topic, man. It's a planetary topic, so it's hard to like. You know.
Yep. And like you said, like we don't know who anyone is. They send their little minions to go talk in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And say they didn't know anything or they didn't see this, and you know, the majority of the people will buy it. So if it is an energy scale, you know, if they can just get this many people to believe it, then you know you won't get that good rise or whatever they're holding back.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. We're like these sheep in a pen, and we're the only ones that are like, dude, there's a gate. Like, we should open up that gate, and the other sheep are like, what? And like just stampeding from one side to the other, so you like can't, like, no one's gonna open the gate.
Right.
You know?
There's a psychological experiment they did back in the day when you could do mean shit to kids and dogs and stuff, and it was what they did was they put a dog in this pen and they electrified the floor except for this one little spot. So wherever the dog would go, they'd zap it, and then it'd run to that one spot where it wouldn't get zapped. And eventually, they did this so many times they stopped zapping it, and it just stayed in that one spot.
Yeah.
So the dog learned to be helpless. It learned to cage itself because it just was like, oh, every time I step off this pad, I get shot. But then they, you know, quit electrifying it. I think there's some of that kind of trauma, basically, that's like out in the world. Yeah. But I think the Epstein shit coming out is like 100% a psyop. Like everything from like we're gonna deny it exists to we're gonna bombard you with all this bullshit and it's redacted, and then we're gonna unredact it, but then we're gonna accidentally unredact like the victims as opposed to the bankers and shit. I think the whole thing's I think they something somewhere maybe forced their hand, like maybe the Civil War thing Jordan was talking about. So then, you know, there's a move and then a counter move and then a move and a counter move. So the move was to force it. The counter move is to how do we do this to our advantage? You flood it, you demoralize, you know, do everything they're doing. And the question then becomes, like, I guess maybe who's winning is the question. I personally, to me, I'm reading all this as a good thing in the long run, even though it's going to be painful. I'm a Jesus guy now. I wasn't last time I was here, but I had a lot of weird stuff happen in the last intervening months that it's now strange, I'm on. Right? Yeah. And, you know, so now I know where I stand on that front. And to me, it's like, I'm reading it as Jesus, the universe, however you want to frame it. Yeah, they're flushing the rats out, and everybody's scampering, everybody's scrambling. And we're at this inflection point where it could be we don't eat the cheese and get snapped in the trap, and we're able to kind of push on with a righteous and just society, or we do eat the cheese and we get snapped in the trap. And I'm not exactly
cheese in a trap, man.
Yeah. So, but that's why, you know, that's where for me a lot of the spiritual stuff comes in, where it's like, hey, whatever society does is what society does. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing the best I can for me and my people and those who I can help and affect, versus, you know, what are you going to do if New York wants to keep voting in, you know, Mom Donnie, or even just like the idea, you know, even just playing the politic game at this point. It's like the whole thing's a ruse. So, yeah.
Well, Chad said something I think actually has a lot to do with how reality physically works, or like physically works is probably the right way to say it, which is that they've snatched enough attention, or when you can drive enough human attention to a certain thing, it like reality manifests that thing. I think back to this video of, Trevor was talking about doing bad shit to kids and dogs, but like back when you could like LSD people for the CIA. But so there's this dude who they dosed with LSD, and I can't remember if he was like a poet or an artist or something like that. And there's a dude in a lab coat like talking to him during this interview. It's in black and white. I'll probably drop a clip of it right here. But so what a fucked up way to be tripping. First of all, like talk about poor set and setting. Like you're in like an office with some dick in a lab coat, right? And he's like taking notes. But so the guy started laughing, and the doctor's like, what is funny? What is funny? He's like, oh, and he looks down to the floor and he's like, well, the rug was being whimsical. Like I almost remember this word for word. I'm pretty close. Like the rug was being whimsical. He's like, basically, until the rug was behaving not as a rug until he looked at it and the rug remembered like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be a rug in this part of the little game we're playing right now. So it's funny when you see like the veil sort of slip like that. So the question is, back to Chad's point, I'm like what happens when enough of us really do think about something? I mean, Aaron says this all the time, man. Like human attention is the most valuable asset on the planet. Like fuck gold, forget about diamonds, any of that shit, because you need human attention to decide those things are even valuable in the first place. So I think what a lot of these people do is, I mean, clearly through pop music and all this other bullshit, is farm human attention, So maybe the question is like, what can we do if we all stop and think about it? Like how the hell do you move a 10,000 ton stone or something like that? Does it take all of us standing around it and thinking that motherfucker moves and then it does, like how powerful are we? Man, then I thought I was thinking about something that Trevor was saying, but I might have TBI hold it.
With the occult, like with ceremonial magic, like you're wasting your time by yourself unless you're trying to be a yogi or something.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to do anything that, I mean, this is what they believe. I don't know. I've never been, but they're usually huge groups. The bigger group of people, the more power it is. So that makes totally sense what you're saying.
And it works. And that's kind of why I went to, Christianity. Here I say it as I'm pounding fucking silver bullets and swearing on the internet, but
I don't think that stuff counts, man, to be honest. I don't think it's that detailed.
I hope not, because that is basically piss water. So, but
I mean, this is a hockey player, so I don't know what's like.
There you go. But it works for them. So I'm like, well, if that stuff is real, then the other stuff, the opposite, must be real.
Yeah.
But the attention thing is absolutely it, because if you think about like the definition of prayer, as far as like the best one I've heard, it's lifting your mind and your heart to God.
Yeah.
Which is attention. So what you're giving your attention to is in itself, in essence, a prayer. Like if you're just sitting around, watching, tranny porn and doing whatever, it's like, that's what you're praying to. Like that's your God. It's idolatry.
Yep.
That's
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Every thought's a prayer. That's exactly right. That's and it's funny, like when you read Teresa of Avila and all that, the interior castle and all that stuff, she sounds like a yogi, man. Like she sounds like, so it's like once you start doing that, you start looking into all that stuff. You're like, well, I already believe in God, and if God is an equation, why would I ever do magic? Like, why? I've already, I've already signed on to the bigger thing. So,
if you look at them, dude, like they're all materialists.
Yeah.
So they get grounded in like what you can touch and feel and buy and rape. But it's all that accumulation of material. And that sacrifice. Here's my thing that I go back and forth on. So there in the Israeli Knesset, there was a investigation.
Just like now we got kicked off YouTube. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. Sorry. There was an investigation because a bunch of high-ranking Israeli officials in the government, in the military, in the police, in business, were being accused by actual victims, of doing these insane satanic child sacrifice rituals. And my thing is like, Are they doing it because they believe it, because they believe in the ritual, or are they doing it because the ritual itself makes it so horrific that no one would believe the kid that comes out and says it? And also, if you inject the demonic into it, is that kid going to even be likely to say that if they think that, like, oh, this is the devil's put some spell on me? And you guys get where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that goes back to what I was saying, the both and. I think it could be a lot of those things because, like, if you're not with the divine or with God, you're playing Grand Theft Auto cheat code basically because you're so evil. Well, where are you going to get your power from? There's nothing more powerful than the innocence of a child, So that's what they're harvesting. That's what they're harvesting. I think. I mean, I'm not an expert, but it makes sense to me because the only Eastern practice that I think that works fine with Christianity is like the Chinese medicine, like Qigong and all that stuff. Because it's like all the other ones you're asking for an intercession from some other higher power, some demigod or something else. Qigong's just like, dude, work really hard and breathe properly and you'll make this inner energy that prepares you for the divine energy. They have a different word. Qi is not divine. It's, the pre-heaven Shen is divine. It's a totally different thing. So they're not talking about, and I think when you think about that, like the evil people have no way of having the divine. They're totally divorced from it. So that's where they get their energy from.
Yeah. I heard it like somebody was explaining that, like, basically what hell is it's the absence of God.
Yeah.
And so it's not even like a positive in the sense of like, it's nothing. They're not applying anything to you. It's a removal. It's
right. It's like an opposite chemical reaction to heaven would be a lake of fire, right?
And that's what a lot of this is rooted in. This is another reason why I kind of went towards the Christian stuff, is because if you look at what a lot of these guys are doing, it's an inversion of Christian ritual.
Oh, yeah.
They get their power from that inversion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, it comes back to like, well, if that works and they're doing that, then maybe the opposite. That's where I threw my hat. I'm not judging anybody, and I'm definitely not trying to preach because I'm just not qualified for that shit. But to me, that's my read on it.
No, that's a good read. There's a really cool book called Way of the Mystics, like about the Desert Fathers and all that stuff, and like how much they influenced the world, dude. Like those guys just went out in the wilderness and whatever, they opened up their chi or whatever. Like, and like the term Sufi, and those guys, the Muslim mystics are about as legit as you can get. But the term Sufi is for a Muslim who's mimicking a Christian by wearing their robes. So it's like it goes back to
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all.
So what I pulled up real quick was a picture of Dante's Inferno, and in Dante's Inferno, the bottom layer of hell is like reserved for traitors, essentially, and it's actually ice. They're like frozen up to their fucking necks in ice.
Interesting.
Like I think it might even be like the devil's wings cooling them off down there. But metaphorically, I was thinking of it as the symbol of God's love on earth, whichever God. I just say that. I accept no intermediaries. The is the sun, right? The sun is the light of God in our world, and it provides warmth. And if you look at it, the way I look at it through cycle, everything in this place is something to teach us. The Creator made it to teach us through observation. To me, you get to know the Creator by looking at the creation itself, like it was built by something perfect. So I try to get my lessons from its perfect creation. So, in the cycle of the sun, as it goes through, you eventually end up in winter where you can see the sun. It's there. It's like, but it's freezing cold. You can see it, but you can't feel it. You're in ice. You're at the lowest point of the year. You're at essentially the death of the sun. Like you were just saying, through a different way of saying it, like God has moved its warmth and its love away from you, or you have moved away from it because your stupid ass lives in a place where it gets cold all the time. Like you made that decision. You could have moved to the equator. Yep. It's like cause and effect again. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of, while you were talking about that, I was thinking about this Dante's Inferno symbolism.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And AJ, check on that Sufi thing for us in the comments. Sorry, we got a Muslim dude. He's always
Is he mad at me?
good friend, man, and he's always hitting. I love talking with Muslims about different ideas about things, man, because
I hope I
easier
have
than killing
such
each other.
respect for the Sufis. Like, I just thought that was a really interesting part of that book. Like, just that stuff was so syncretic back then. The Sufis, the yogis, the Christians, they were all like being influenced. I hope he's not bummed at me for that.
Have you seen some of the mosques? Not to derail anything, but people out there that haven't looked at some of the mosques in Iran, which is probably why we're going to be bombing them here soon. Is fucking beautiful, man. Those Sufi mosques in Iran. I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like, it's geometric shapes, just infinitely carved. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, the Sufis took the Desert Fathers techniques and ran with it in a way that like no one else. I'm like, sorry. Like, I mean, we have saints, especially in the Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church, but the Sufis, man, they turned it down to a science, man. It's a beautiful thing. They really knew what they're doing,
There's something to be said for that type of architecture and that type of thing, because people will go into like an old cathedral and they'll look at how like insane and impressive and beautiful the architecture and the art is, and just kind of like, not understand where it came from or why we can't replicate it today. And I think the big reason we can't replicate it today is that the dudes that made that were not making it for themselves. They weren't doing it for their own glory. They weren't doing it to honor anything but God. They were there with this single-minded intention of honoring something greater than themselves. And that's lost today because we're so grounded in ourselves. Everything's about self-improvement and what can I do for me, and there's no community anymore, and that's been broken down, and I think it's been broken down on purpose.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's by design. They hate those cathedrals, man.
That's why they randomly catch fire occasionally. But yeah, man, it's when you sit back, dude, it's like in some Agent Smith shit, man. When you sit back and you look at the very delicately crafted trap that humanity is in right now, it's nothing but impressive, man. Like, I stopped being mad at these creeps a long time ago. Like, it's because some of the stuff that I got into in the military, I understand like what it takes to get like a well-crafted plan pulled off, and it's not easy. It's like, it's one thing to just walk out and get in a gunfight. It's a whole nother thing to like orchestrate a very intricate deception.
Yeah.
And leave it covered up for a long time,
And it goes wrong as soon as it leaves your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you put it out into the wild, it grows its own legs and starts running around doing its own little egregore shit,
And they're not just doing plans; they're doing century-long, like, occulted rituals.
That's,
like,
that's it. People don't think on those terms. We're so conditioned in the West to think in these 4-year cycles, and they're thinking, I don't know, dude, 20, 100, 1,000 years.
Yeah, I think at least 8. Part of me thinks to go off like an Olympic cycle, like the Olympiads, and I think the Olympiads are 8. I'm not going to bother Googling that shit now, but I'm pretty sure they're like 8 years.
They wanted to make the Federal Reserve. The families that opposed it were on the Titanic. They sunk the Titanic in 1912. In 1913, Jekyll Island. And then after that, wars and wars and wars for that whole century, man.
And the only way that you get those wars is through the fiat currency system. Like, you can't pay on a gold standard or on just people trading chickens.
Yep.
Right. Like, so we have to make up this fucking fake thing, man. If I had to take a wild swag, man, and this is probably why I'm sitting on a farm. Dude, in my estimation, it can't be long before they rug pull the fucking U.S. economy, man. Like, it's
they're doing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, they've been in the process of doing it, and part of me almost contemplates like that's what the whole Epstein thing is because all those crimes, as horrific as they are all like in the past. Is getting people wrapped around all this clearly crazy shit that has gone on over like the last 20 years of his little jaunt around the world, man. But all those things are like done. It's not. It keeps their mind off of. It's almost why I think they teach history the way they do. They teach history like you learn the dumbest shit as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And you know, from way back in the day, like I don't even know why we're teaching kids that like we came over here and as pilgrims and like you draw the little turkey with your hand and shit and like well, basically what I'm saying is history is taught in reverse. Like you should teach it like what's going on like right now, and then basically teach from now backwards. They start way basically what I'm trying to get at is by the time you're 18 years old, like you could like what year are you in? Fucking 1300 or something, and you can't like you don't even care anymore. Essentially, it's because I mean you weren't even looking at shit that even mattered. You know, you weren't noticing these patterns that Jordan was just pointing out. So I mean, dude, part of me thinks that all this Epstein shit is just a giant way to keep people's fucking heads down. I think probably more shit's gonna come out, which is gonna be interesting, man. To keep people thinking about all that nonsense while they do even more nefarious shit that they've been like I think we're at the terminus point, right? I think we've reached the phase line where they're gonna do a whole bunch of more shit. Call it like a genocide overseas somewhere, you know, call it another genocide anywhere, you know. But in order to stop people from realizing like, oh yeah, this is about to happen, they're running all this nonsense as like a in an information operation, we would call it like a ambiguity increasing, like more information, like white noise, just fucking flood the zone.
Yeah,
all manner of shit.
Yeah.
You know, so people either just keep their head down or they stop paying attention. Meanwhile, like billions of dollars are getting sent to fucking every which where, like while your economy tanks and your president tells you that it's not tanking. It's, you know, it's like I'm on my toes because I'm thinking like the next big fuckery is right around the corner.
Oh, I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I'm surprised something hasn't happened yet.
Well, they've been warning us, like on the Sean Ryan podcast. I believe he had like some CIA lady on there, and she's I think it's fear porn for the most part, but she's saying, you know, there's 1,000 Al Qaeda guys in America that's getting ready to attack, and I don't know. I mean, that's something that you think it could happen any day if they're, no matter what religion they are, you know. But I think that's just fear porn that they're trying to spread, just more propaganda. I hope.
I got a thing on that.
Go ahead.
One, I do think that to a certain extent, it is just ear porn fuckery, but also the best psyop is built on at least a kernel of truth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we know that there's dudes here that want to kill us.
Absolutely.
I think that as long as they keep winning mayoral positions, governor positions, as long as they can win power legitimately, you're not gonna see any terrorism. But as soon as that starts getting pushed back against, then something will happen. But there's also like a lot of moving parts there, because I'm not a necessarily blame the Muslims guy. But I think anybody that's paying attention, and certainly anybody that's well versed in history for the last, since the 7th century, understands that this is not the first time that Western civilization has had a Islamic extremist problem, or an Islam problem, really. This happened before. So, but I do think that as long as they keep winning power legitimately, they'll stay quiet. But as soon as that starts to get pushed back against, something will happen. And the thing is with America right now, it's not just the Jays or just the Muslims or just this or just that. It's everything is happening all at once.
Yep, exactly. And who knows if they're not scrambling because of this weird spiritual awakening energy. Because guess what? You take the Muslim population and they start to realize the great Satan is a very specific group of people, and that the majority of the Americans are actually on their side. Now you've lost any terrorist cell whatsoever. Now you have just freedom fighters in country with the rest of us, and that probably terrifies them. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of variables, man. I'm scared of the AI, dude. I'm scared of our just power going out one day. You know.
Yep.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. So we're building like a healing retreat here on the farm. It's going to incorporate
awesome.
honeybee therapy. So essentially, there's an old Slovenian, Eastern European method of building bee houses, probably because of the brutal winters.
Yeah.
Of where essentially you access the bees from inside a small structure. You know, that's how you actually get into them and tend them and open them and everything. And so basically they've just over the years they found and researched that actually provides a lot of health benefits, being in there with the acoustics and the vibration and like the different particles that are circling through the air. And so basically we're going to build one that looks like a sauna. Essentially you go in there and you sit, but you're sitting on, you know, a couple 100,000 bees.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard, man.
So that's my springtime project. Like I'm going to order the material for it next week, but we needed a pitch deck to start to send out to some investors, right? Because I can do all this myself, but it's going to take a certain amount of years. I'm not a fan of spending years doing things, you know what I'm saying? So if I can get a kickstart with some people, that'd be a lot better. So I need a pitch deck built, and I was about to just break out PowerPoint, man, and just go to work. In fact, we had a small pitch deck built with PowerPoint already. And so while I was working on a different project, I saw an ad on YouTube for like I rarely use Chat GPT or anything. I've used it maybe like 5 times, but I've recently fired it up because I'm like, you know what? Like I don't have time to I've got like 10 irons in the fire around here. Like I actually need something done, right? So fired up the old beast. I just call it the beast. Like that is what it is. So I fire the beast up and I start feeding information into it. Like, hey, find me this, find me that. You know, it really is just a better fucking search engine, or is it a chain demon? We don't know. So it led me to an app that was essentially an AI app that will build PowerPoint slides for you. It's called GenSpark. Is the one I started using. And dude, no shit, man. Like you just tell this thing what you want for a presentation, and it spits out like 15 fucking like beautiful PowerPoint slides, the like of which like no S2 nerd, no S1 nerd could ever PowerPoint as well as this thing PowerPoints. Now in my brain, I'm like, well, good, because those people are annoying anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I would sit next to somebody who was a fucking PowerPoint guy, which is funny because one of the guys I last worked with is like that. His main thing was checking the fucking team's PowerPoint. I'm like, bro, your fucking life is over. I'm looking at this thing and I mean, coming back from a managerial standpoint, when I used to manage people as in my old gig, I was like, dude, this would take at least 4 or 5 people. Not that long. It's a PowerPoint slide, nothing big, but probably 2 or 3 people, man, to like brainstorm through all this shit and like put together just this one thing. I mean, it dawned on me that I'm like, yo, man, this is what fucking people are talking about. Cause I started putting my mind towards how to use this to help build this business. And I'm like, okay, so what this is going to do is this is the next separator of people, this AI thing. Whereas, you know, if you're a highly creative person and, you know, a driven person, you're going to use it for things like replacing, like, fuck, dude, I can't afford a travel agent. Cool. I got this AI thing. I can't afford like a research team for my business or a marketing team for my business. Fine. I got this robot that can do it. Like, I don't even have to go to Fiverr. I could have went to Fiverr maybe and got something built. Well, now I'm not even going to give my $20 to some Pakistani dude. Like, you know, I'm going to give, you know, I'm just going to use the fucking beast, man. Cause it's right there, you know? And, so I'm thinking of like, there's already a projected office building collapse because of after the fucking, hey, go work from home type thing. Everybody's like, oh, you mean I don't have to be in this fucking human cube over here?
They don't want that.
No.
Yeah. So now you think about even more people who are just office people, man. Like I can't stand dealing with the people that work at the office at one particular medical place that we go to. I'm just like, I can't wait till you fucking people are robots. And so I think what it's going to do is you're going to see a widening gap between people who are like self-starters and can actually like, oh, hey, I'm going to fucking do this. I can use this tool. And then the people that are creating like cats fighting Chuck Norris. You know what I'm saying? Like those people are going to wake up and be like, oh, damn, like I don't have a fucking job. And because whatever it was I was doing, correlating fucking Excel sheets for an insurance company, some shit. Like I think Jack Dorsey, you know, devil worshiper that he is, or Luciferian, just shit canned like 40% of his workforce and his stock went up You know, like, hey, I'm gonna fire 40% of these real humans because AI can do it, whatever PayPal shit he's running now, whatever thing he's doing. And the stock for that company goes up. So what that is a like a marker for other companies to be like, oh, is that the phase line where all of us can now fire half the fucking people that work for us? And then that got me thinking, I'm like, okay, so everything is like a consolidation of things, right? Like there's only 6 entertainment companies now, and there's only like 4 fucking airplane companies now, and there's only this many of this. Everything is being consolidated. The people that I do consulting work for now just got bought by a bigger firm. You know, like it's just a big fish eating the bigger fish, right? And
That's the shark.
that got me thinking. I'm like, so what that potentially provides, what that potentially sets the conditions for, is now you won't even have like mom and pop protection. Well, whether your job gets canked by fucking AI, like if one company owns the entire industry for X, Y, or Z, and they all decide to lay off 40% of their motherfuckers, you know, like it's, you know, if Larry Ellison decides that 40% of Hollywood doesn't need to work anymore, you know, like there is no fucking startup, you know, there is no individual like little bubbles of places. Like everybody's business is now Bojangles, you know. What do y'all think?
I mean, yeah, it's almost like it's so complicated. That's almost like a separate issue, but like we're talking about sinking ship. Like, is it a sinking ship? Because if it's not a sinking ship, then that's a problem. Like, yeah, we got to work that out. But if it's a sinking ship, I don't care about Jack Dorsey. Like, I'm gonna go cloister with a agrarian war tribe and try to survive. But I think my fear. Oh man,
I got space, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. You got the universal basic income. Well, I'm gauging it. Are the elites playing ball again? Like, can things be cool, or are they going for a full technocracy where we're like, what are we? Are they going to just get rid of us? Or are we slaves, or what? Like, you know,
we make it a choice.
Yeah.
Well, it's are you going to play ball with their program or not?
Right.
It's almost like it went, you know, it's like we're changing to a different god, like one of their gods. Like it was Moloch and then Luciferian, and now we're going into another evil one. And it's like that's the same thing. Like, are we going to be able to play ball?
I'll take Lucifer over ball, dude. Like Lucifer just wants to do cocaine and rock and roll, and like he doesn't want to eat little kids. Like ball sucks. I want to get rid of ball.
Yeah, as far as the AI shit goes, like I'm into it right now, because the way I see it is like we're at the beginning of AI the same way as like when YouTube first came out and it was just like fucking cat videos and people having a good time.
Yeah.
That's where we're at now, where you can just take a video and then, you know, tweak some shit, and now you got Sasquatch walking through your living room, whatever. We're at that place now. It's gonna go dark soon. So I'm enjoying the ride while I can, knowing full well that this shit's gonna go.
What do you mean by go dark? What do you think the AI is headed as far as like your go dark?
Surveillance. I think, yeah. That's the big one, and then being able to go through, which I guess is still surveillance, but like, you know, just like the greasy shit we send each other on text messages.
Oh, bro, you and I are fucked. If you're in my contact list, you're fucked. And not to mention that I'm snitching, bro. Like, and what I mean by that is this: like, if I ever get rolled up on one of these fucking list things, anybody I never even fucking liked that I had contact with, like, there's, you know, like several people from my military career, dude. I'm just giving their fucking name up. Like, as soon as we get into the room and the lights come on, I'm like, oh yeah, what's his name? You know, some fucking battalion commander I didn't like from way back in the day. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't text him, but we write letters and shit. I'm like as soon as they accuse me of being whatever, like I'm taking down. Like, dude, I'm just gonna be in there fucking singing, bro. Like, people are gonna be getting, you know, because when we're to that level of dystopia,
yeah.
Dude, we did it to fucking terrorists. Like, as soon as this guy says something, we go fucking roll him up, no matter what. The guy's like, I gave that guy a palm oil full of fucking palm oil jug full of diesel fuel yesterday, and now I got a Blackhawk in my fucking backyard. You know, Like when it gets to that level of dystopia, all the people that did nothing to fucking stop it, I'm giving their name up when I get to the fucking booth, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll spread their names around too, so other people do. So there's like multiple derogatory reporting on them and shit. Like it's so yeah, like you three guys are like, hey, give this motherfucker up if you ever get like rolled up.
We probably have a few of the same names already.
Yeah. There's a like, hey, I'm not man. I wasn't gonna say anybody's name out loud, but
Nah. And honestly, dude, a lot of those guys that I would have probably like, you know, in 2008, 2009, I've made peace with a lot of that shit, dude. I don't have ill will towards anybody.
yeah. In my higher elevated state, I do, but in my default mode network programming, it's like I'll occasionally bump into it and have to remember that I don't care.
Yeah.
That's
Now there's definitely, dude, I still have fucking, you know, people talk about like PTSD and you know, like dreams and stuff. Dude, I had a dream where like this chick, and I feel like half a homo talking about dreams, but this is going somewhere.
You're a stranger by the hour, man. Don't worry about it.
We're getting stranger by the hour.
Yeah.
But on patrol, I'm on point. This chick jumps over the counter of this little Haji store, starts running at me. I'm like, oh, that's a body bomb. Boom. Pop her in the face. She clacks off. I wake up. I'm in the best mood I've been in like forever, dude. And it was like horrific. Like for a normal person, that's like a horrific because it was real.
Yeah.
But I've had other dreams where like I'm waking up in cold sweat because a certain platoon sergeant is like locking me on for having a beard or whatever, and I'm like, dude, I'm 40 years old. Like, what are we like, what am I don't even know I'm on this ship. But I'll wake up and like that's what's traumatized me. It's like that kind of bullshit, dude. The war stuff. I like whatever, dude.
Anybody else got one for that? Because I do.
For me, mostly like my dreams, it's just a lot of it is we're about to step off, or it's just, oh, you got one more year or one more day. It's something like that's constantly what my dreams tend to be like, just about to step off, and then just I guess it was just that adrenaline and whatever that I'm.
That is one of the height of anxieties, right? Because you don't know how bad it's going to be that night or that day, or like it is kind of like well, fuck, man, you know.
Here it goes. And I don't know if it, but that was the last time that I saw Travis. Was we were just getting ready to step off.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's I don't know, but it definitely lingers with me.
You know, so I have a recurring one. I have reoccurring military dreams. You know, I mean, I don't think it's that odd because the amount of time I spent, with them. You know.
Yeah.
But mine, you know, it'll fluctuate. I get the one where, like, I look like I do now. So, like, fuck, dude, I'm in trouble. I got a beard. You know, like I get that one. I get the I'm late one. You know, like it's like I'm running behind for something. Just like Trevor said, all the combat ones are fine. Which is funny because people will be like, "You were in combat in your dream last night?" Yeah, everything was working good, dude. Like the fucking 240 was singing like a charm, you know, like everything worked, you know, like because back before I had been in a lot of combat, I would have the dream where nothing fucking worked, dude. No matter how hard I pulled the trigger, the round wouldn't fire. That's
the worst dream.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever had it dribble out the front? The bullet just dribbles out the
No, dude, that's a STD, brother.
That's a dude. Yeah, that's a fuck. Yeah, it's something's going on.
Yeah.
But
so the one I get reoccurring now is that I'm stuck in some stupid situation, man, where it's you know, it's just, you guys remember like the routine fucking nonsense. Oh, and this brings up a question I wanted to ask you guys. You know, whatever the routine nonsense is, and I know there's a fucking better way, and I'm trying to like explain to them the better way, and I'm just getting nothing but shit back in return. Like I get, and I think I'm smart enough, or maybe wise enough is a better term, to like to peel that apart nowadays, where you know you can see shit going bad in the greater reality. You're like, hey folks, it's pretty simple. Like these people bought these people off. These people are fucking wizards. You know, and so I think I'm dreaming that in a different stage, man. But the question I wanted to ask you guys was, hey man, like normally what gets the most play on YouTube is stories from fucking like dudes as high level special operators, right? Like,
There's,
SEALs turned CIA guys or fucking Delta Force dudes or SEAL Team 6 dudes. And the fact that, or Green Berets for a long time, or that's one of the things even that I changed the intro mainly because I didn't want us to be like a fucking brovet channel, man. So like I dropped the whole Raider thing, But the vast majority of people, I don't think people understand. Like, and by people I mean like civilians. I don't think they understand that group of people is such a small amount of people in the overall military that it's like it's to the right of the fucking decimal point. Like if you were to explain to people how few out of however many people we have in the military now, how few were tier 1, how few were ever in this particular unit, right? The vast majority of people are the folks like you guys, like, hey man, you did your 4, and you're like, hey, I'm whatever I saw, I'm fucking good, man. That's the vast fucking majority. And so what I want to kind of dig into is, and I've asked other people this, I'm like, what was it that you saw that I didn't see? Because I'm sure I saw what you saw at the end of fucking 20 years. You might have just saw it at fucking 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, these people are retarded, fresh out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that guy's fucking dumb. Like this is stupid what we're doing, So I guess go around the horn in whatever order, man. Like, what did you see where you're like, no, I'm good, man. I'm not sticking out. Cause all of you were fucking awesome, dude. I mean, like I saw 0 but awesome things from you guys in the Helmand Valley. Like the hardest fighting that the fucking Marine Corps will say that they've done in a long time. I mean, so it wasn't for lack of fucking skills, I'll shut up now.
I just want to say when I said gay, I was just talking shit. I actually I'm so, dude, I get so far down the rabbit hole on some of these like Delta guys and love me some Green Berets. And, I was just talking shit. I was like gay and then no one laughed.
For me,
Go ahead.
When we got back, we did the post evaluation, I believe. And we were standing out there with the platoon, and there was a doctor waiting in a room, and somebody from the platoon, I don't remember who, but they told us whenever we go inside there, we're going to say no to every question. And that stuck with me since we did that. And I believe every one of us, if y'all remember that, we went in there individually and he asked every single question that you could ask, and we said no to everything. And I believe we were told to do that, and we did it. So there, I don't know, but it's I feel like it's totally fucked every single one of us who went and did that.
Yeah, because weren't they doing that?
that?
So they had paperwork so that they could deny our VA benefits and shit. Like that's basically what it was.
Yeah. And
did you see a dead body? Were you like that?
Did you see blood? Did you shoot at anybody? Absolutely. Those are the questions. And I mean, I was 20 years old when we got back, so I was still I feel dumb,
Yeah.
Especially being around like Trevor. He was on his 3rd combat tour, and he was my team leader, who I definitely couldn't ask for a better person to be a leader for me. And then having Jordan, he was in our squad as well. He was on his 2nd combat tour. And so, I mean, me as a junior Marine, then we were in the best hands possible. And I mean, they were getting out as soon as we got back, they got out of the Marines since they extended and everything. And it was just us, and it dissolved everything that we had, the camaraderie that we had, everything. They literally took it from us and scattered us throughout the company, to where we had our first sergeant at the time. He was from artillery, and he told us on the grinder and all our fresh boots. He said, he said, do not believe any of the Afghan vets because they're lying to you, plain and simple. And that's how. And we had, y'all remember Brandon Kratz? Well, he was the only one that stood up and faced him, because no one, I mean, it was just, you knew what you're going to get into if you try to stand up to it. And he had to deal with it for quite a while. So that's the kind of stuff that we dealt with that y'all probably didn't get to see.
Yeah.
And out of all those people, out of my peers, I believe there's only 2 Marines that they just retired. Wyman and I believe Whitman.
Oh shit! Yeah, I went to Wyman's retirement.
I was going to try to get to go to that, but work interfered for that. But I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah, I never understood why they did that. Just to hop in before the next person goes, man. I never understood that cohesion break. They always want to move motherfuckers around every 3 years, or it's like this is dumb. You know, like it's I know what they would say if they were sitting in on this conversation, and
What would
like,
they say?
well, they would say because you need to be like a well-rounded something or another, and you need to like learn the fucking ways of different nonsense and do all this thing. And you're like, bro, aren't I just supposed to fucking kill people? You know, am I just supposed to like locate, close with, and destroy the enemy by fire and maneuver and repel the enemy assault by fire in close combat?
Right.
And like,
I think. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Chad.
I think that might be the normie version that they want to give the majority of the military people.
I think that's what it was before the 90s, or maybe the 80s. There was some demarcation point. Like there was a point where motherfuckers were going out and killing motherfuckers, and that was just what you did.
Because ideally, like if we weren't in fake wars of conquest, right? If we weren't in these banker wars, if we weren't fighting to fucking keep Raytheon's bottom line up, you would absolutely want to maintain unit cohesion. Like if we were defending the homeland, then whatever, like you would, like the Oceanside crew would be responsible for Oceanside, and you would never move unless you moved from Oceanside, and you would know every alleyway, you would know every inch of that terrain. The Oceanside crew, just for lack of a better term, is tasked with defending that. If this was a defense thing, if it wasn't a fucking war thing, like you would know every inch of your own home soil. So it wouldn't be like, oh hey, Oceanside crew, we're gonna go fucking fly you to defend the Jersey Shore. It's like, okay, why? Like
my way of like analyzing shit and the way I view everything. Okay, and this plays into why I got out of the military. I always think about everything as if X, then Y. Okay, so if we are a serious fighting force, then we would maintain unit cohesion. We would want to learn from the people that have actually killed people. We would do this, we would do that, we would do that. Okay, that's if we were serious. If we are not serious, what would it look like? It would look like the fucking clown show that it is. So we're not serious. So get the fuck out.
That's a great way to look at things. That's a deductive reasoning. Like, what would it be if it were working correctly?
Yeah.
What do you got, Jordan?
I don't know. I remember reading like Starship Troopers and how badass they were, like how they'd come back home and they were like so superior to other men that they and then I go learn McMap and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is just like, oh, we got to take these factory workers and like get them in line as far now, not for special operations. And I have a lot of respect for the grunts and they're badass in spite of that attitude, but that attitude from the top down, it's just like, hurry up and wait. Oh, we got to let's make them clean something again. It's not a warrior culture. Like they're using morale as a weapon, and that's the only weapon they have. And it's just really dumb, dude. And I just got tired of that. And I was just super getting into conspiracy theories, like right at the end. I was reading a book about Colonel Corso and stuff, and then I was at Engineer Battalion and I was talking about it, and then it was on the news. People were like, "Whoa, Doc Kuhn is talking to the," and then there's something with Bigfoot, and that was on the news for some reason. So just all these things were happening already, where I was like, I can't stay in with this stuff. Like my eyes are open,
Yeah.
And then I go through phases where I gaslight myself and like I don't believe in conspiracies anymore. And then I come back and it's real. I'm like, oh yeah, it was real. But the biggest reason for the military was just like it wasn't sustainable for me, especially not in the grunts, because as a corpsman, because it's just the attitude is not an attitude of excellence. It's an attitude of like, get along, little doggies. Like they're just trying to move you through these chutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I never understood that part either. We had this guy, I will say his name because fuck him, Gunny McLeod. So in 2002, I was for a second there, I was the weapons platoon commander of 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines Kilo Company weapons platoon.
Oh, wow.
So like we were so shorthanded. So Sergeant Anderson shows up from security forces, which everybody loves. And like I'm the only NCO in the fucking platoon, man. So now I'm the weapons platoon commander.
Wow.
Right. And so eventually, so I'm getting no amount of, that's a whole other story. So eventually we're building up towards 2003, the invasion of Iraq. And we start getting more dudes in, right? And we eventually get a platoon sergeant, weapons platoon is the biggest platoon. They're supposed to have like the most senior platoon sergeant. So we get this dude from like sergeant's course out there in 29 Palms. And this is like just straight military shit for people who aren't usually tuned in for military stuff. Sorry. But so, dude looks like a fucking chapped dick, dude. Straight up. I'm just going to use fucking plain language on this one, man. Like just an asshole, man. Like he's trying to be Gunny Highway from Heartbreak Ridge, man.
Yeah.
And the guy's key like takeaways where he said he wanted to be two things in life. He wanted to be a drill instructor and he wanted to be a reconnaissance Marine. Right. So that just kind of like gives you the mindset of what this guy's got coming in.
Schizophrenic.
And so eventually where I settled at was the assault section leader. So I'm the assault section leader for Kilo 37 weapons platoon. And my buddy is another sergeant who later like moved to be a weatherman or some shit and was studying to be like a black mason. So he's probably a sergeant major right now. But so he's the machine gun section leader, right? And so us two sergeants. And so old Gunny fucking Chapdick calls us in there one day, and he's like, "Hey, look, you guys need to be at the barracks at like 0530, like kicking the doors in and like rousting these Marines and doing all this shit." And I don't know if you guys thought of like I was always mouthy, man. It didn't come later on, dude. It was like it started early, So I was like, Gunny, they didn't volunteer for that. Right. He's like you can hear his record skip, dude. Like his shit comes off the tracks, dude. He's like high and tight, kilts over fucking a little bit to the side. And he's looking at me like in front of him, like they didn't volunteer for that. They're Marines. Like if they're not fucking up, why am I gonna thrash them? And bro, I was pro hazing. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, there was multiple things. I was pretty famous for the fucking hazing thing, dude. And but I'm like, look, I told them what to do, they did it. Now what? What is this combative attitude or some bullshit? Like what the fuck? Like, aren't we on the same team? You know what I'm saying? Like, I never really got the thing of like, you have to like brutalize a dude to do it. I'm like, no, man, we just task a condition and standard. Hey, we are tasked to take this over there. Under these conditions, the standard is this. If you can't make it, we're A, not taking you, or B, we're getting you kicked the fuck out of here. Like there's no reason for any. If you're about your business, like Jordan's saying, if this is a warrior culture, then we're all going to pick up. Hey man, you got to, hey, guess what? 311, you're carrying these fucking mortars. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, like there shouldn't be any, I never understood the adversarial relationship from the top to the bottom. I always thought it was supposed to be like older brothers to younger brothers, fathers to son. I mean, even in the officer school, they teach that shit where it's supposed to be like a father-son mentorship relationship between the higher level officers and like the lower level officers, yeah. So that was one of the things I never understood. And I knew that's why guys got out. It's like, I would think I was probably an anomaly where I didn't treat junior guys like that. It was like, yeah, you see guys just like, hey, watch me fuck with this guy. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, what, you got touched when you were a kid? You like to hurt animals and wet the bed, bro? Like, are you, dude, the Marine Corps, and maybe it's the military. Maybe this answers some of the question is like, I looked at it like an abused child mentality, dude. It was like, oh, I fucked with him. So now, or I was fucked with. So now I got to fuck with this guy, and the mythology was always that, and then I'll get off my box here. Like the mythology was always, at least in the Marine Corps, was that made you more effective. Like,
Right.
hey, like me doing all this shit to this guy is going to make him storm this fucking machine gun bunker better. And I'm like, well, I just stormed that machine gun bunker with my shit unbloused and my half rolls, and I was wearing sunglasses, and I'm fucking like, what are you talking about? And I just saw him do it, and I smoked a cigarette with him a second ago. Like, what the fuck are you like? Yeah. What do you guys think?
I always find it suspect. There seems to be an animosity to the war fighters. Like, it's almost like the guys who stayed in were like the nerds, and they resent a certain type of characteristic or archetype. And then they spend the rest of their career bullying that archetype. Like, oh, yeah, well, look who's in charge now. I'm like, dude, your friends are gone. The guy who gave you a wedgie in the barracks is gone. He got out. Dude, you're a first sergeant now, man. Grow up. Like, stop
Right.
picking corporals that look like your friend from back in the day that, you know, you couldn't beat up or whatever, you know? It's just, there's a weird culture of that where it's just like this fake tough guy thing. And it's just like you said, from the top down, like, oh, my guys can do it. Like one of my patients was a Vietnam vet, and he was with the tanks in Vietnam. He was saying like the army was making this plan, and the Marine officer was like, oh yeah, we'll do that. And they were like, no one's doing that. It's a bad idea. And he was like, no, don't worry about it. We'll do it. He's like just doing it to like show up the other officers is standing around making the plan. It's like, dude, you're not supposed to be that way, dude. You're an officer. Like, you're not. Yeah. So it's a weird cultural thing. I don't know.
I think there's some of that, and then I think there's some of it where there's something where like
you gotta lean forward. You get quiet if you sit back.
oh yeah, sorry, I'm
Sorry.
getting too relaxed. I think there's some of that, but I think there's something too where like guys will get promoted into positions where they actually have to do shit, and you have to actually be able to think, and they can't because they're dumb. So they're just like, fucking, I gotta do something. So they default to just picking on a private or something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the model is you have to get promoted, so they promote you to your level of incompetence. Essentially, they won't just let you ride as a fucking point man for 20 years. Dude, I met some corporal in Iraq and a British corporal who'd been in for like 20 years, and he drove the Warrior APC. That's what he did.
What a badass.
Yeah, dude.
He's my hero.
Yeah, he looked like he drank. Like, you ever see like the red skin on people that are just like constantly fucking blasted, you know, like they just turn like a red color, you know. He would look like that. He was like in his late 30s. Had to be.
It's quite smart to get an NJP every once in a while.
Yeah,
knock down a peg and go back to the doors.
Yeah, I got a little annoyed by the no fail, or not the no fail, like the zero deficit mentality thing. That was pretty dumb.
Right.
It's like
I guess.
Yeah, basically like hey, dude fucks up one time, whatever, gets demoted or some shit. Like all of a sudden, like it's like the end of the fucking world or some shit, or like some kid is late fucking like 15 minutes or some shit, you know, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you need a fucking other than honorable discharge or something. We need to fuck your entire life up because you're gone for like 15 minutes. It's like
it's not very manly. It's not warrior guys doing that. Like,
dude, it's fucking bureaucrats, dude.
Yeah,
it's
nerds.
And it's spiritually homosexual.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is an important conversation to have because I put it on the fucking calendar, dude. I thought they were going to attack Iran in late December. I had heard some people talking.
Have you heard about the Navy guys wrecking the ships and stuff to stop it?
Yeah.
No, is that like what?
Dude, yeah, they're like TV shirts down the fucking shitters.
Yeah.
Is that what that thing is all about?
Yeah.
The fucked up ship and what is it? It's not the Lincoln. Is it the Ford? Gerald Ford?
Is it the Nimitz?
I don't know. It was an aircraft carrier. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think it is a Gerald Ford. One of the big ones. I don't know, dude.
I don't know which
our shit got burned down.
But they've been there for like 10 months, and there's like a mutiny. It's crazy. Like they don't want this young generation does not want to go to Iran, dude.
I don't fucking blame them, man. And I'm almost. I was talking about this the other day. It would not surprise me, just because of the way things work, if we, the royal we, the fucking big we, the them, didn't park some fucking aircraft carriers close to Iran.
The world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, is now just off the coast of Israel, near to the northern city of Haifa. You have the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group in the Arabian Sea, a variety of U.S. destroyers in locations across the region, and of course U.S. fighter jets not only here in Israel but also in places like Jordan.
Hey man, like Iran's not Iraq. You know, it's not the Taliban.
Oh yeah.
You know, they have technology and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just the terrain, dude.
Yeah, well, they have hypersonic missiles that can target ships.
Yeah,
So what I'm
yeah.
trying to get at is like you just don't get to park off their fucking coast like a badass and fly sorties into like there's a potential, a not unreasonable potential that they couldn't sink some of our fucking naval assets. And that is, I think, known to intelligent people in the Navy.
Yeah.
You know, I think it has to be like if you're a legit ship person, you know, whatever, you know, you have to like, you know, I kept abreast of things while in the military. Like if you're an honest person, you're like, okay, these are the capabilities that I'm up against, and this is what I have in my backpack. That ain't good. You know, I think an honest ship captain, or even fuck the captain, who cares about that dude? He's a careerist anyway. Like you're saying, if allegedly, if people on the crew are stuffing fucking brown paper towels down the shitter pipe, like people have to on that ship have to understand, like, hey man, I'm sitting within hypersonic ballistic missile range, man. There ain't nothing on this ship that can stop that. You know, like, so one of the things that I'm kind of contemplating, would the powers that be purposefully put our assets that close to have them fucking sunk on purpose, man? Because Americans are fucking dumb, dude. As soon as they hear that 5,000 sailors went down in a boat, it's gonna be remember the Maine, bro.
Yep.
Gulf
It's
of Tonkin, USS Liberty. Like this wouldn't even be the first time they've done it.
Yeah. The 13 dead guards at gate, whatever the fuck, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh my god, dude, that pisses me off so much.
it would not
Nobody understands
shock
that.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I try to explain this to people that like how I don't even understand how you get 13 dead guards if you've got it set up right. Like it should be two.
Yeah.
It should be two. You know.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, oh, somebody fucking let it happen.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's acronyms, man. There's make it happen, MIOP, or LIOP, let it happen. Like you can set the conditions for something to happen, like, you know, recruit people, do your thing, and then
like push no white space as you're extracting everybody from a combat zone. Like,
yeah, you can be like, hey, I bet if we do this, this is gonna happen, and then you just don't do anything to stop it.
If X, then Y.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the same thing with the fucking the Metal Gear Solid sniper that allegedly shot Trump in the air, right? It's like if we had certain things like here, you could take a
Just shit like that makes me lose fucking faith in America. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, you could take a PFC that's been in the Marine Corps for like 5 minutes, and he could set up a better defense of a person than the.
I've not seen anything more clearly staged in my life.
Right.
I agree.
Like, yeah.
So that maybe
it's crazy. Like he did a WWF movie, cut himself.
Yeah.
He was in the WWF for like 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
Like after the Rothschilds bailed his ass out with Wilbur Ross, like he then became, oh look, TV brings him up, and like all of a sudden he's on The Apprentice, and hey, we're gonna need some fucking people in Middle America to vote for this New York shill fucking businessman. So what are we gonna do? Let's stick him on WWF, man, because how else are we gonna get him in front of these people that are watching CNN to see Trump in front of his tower? How else are we gonna get this dude in front of all these people to see if we don't have him fucking choke slam Vince McMahon on WrestleMania?
He's America's fucking oh man, dude, I'm a couple silver sauces deep, dude. Ukraine guy. What's his name? The president.
Zelensky.
Oh, Zelensky. Yeah,
Zelensky.
Trump
Okay,
is the American Zelensky. That's a great fucking thing. Yeah,
So Zelensky was on a TV show called like
Presidente or some shit. I think it was called The President or something.
Yeah, and there's this Jewish fella who went Kamoitsky, and he funded the TV show And then whatever the hell that TV show was called ended up being the actual the fucking party that Zelensky made when he ran. And the whole thing was just the TV show. It'd be like if Tim the Toolman Taylor became president. And we're just like, oh, this seems normal. Like,
and his vice president's that dude that like does the Kilroy thing over the fence all of a sudden. It's like, yeah.
Dude, I was arguing with my mom about that, and we turned on Netflix, and Zelensky's show was on Netflix, so they don't even bother to like his show is on. That's my parents' generation. Their Netflix is catered to like they don't even care. Zelensky has his own TV show where he plays an actor who got made president.
It's part of the psyop. It's whatever they got to show you what they got to do, and it's there's a whole name for Cody probably.
Revelation of Method or whatever.
That's the
Is that what it is? Is that what it's called?
I mean, there's a couple different ways to put it. There, like Michael Hoffman calls it freezing and thawing in his book, The Twilight Language, which is
interesting. Okay,
not a thick book. I think I gave mine to the neighbor.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, hey man, there is hope in the fucking military. Like I do people in there who are hip to this. They're hip to the game, man. But this is the frustrating part. Is like, okay, well, you're hip to the game, but like, I fall out on the side of the discussion where I'm like, hey man, like, how do I put this? The aggregate is what matters. Unfortunately, what I mean by that is, you know. We may be anecdotal because I can think all the freedom shit and everything that I want, but what happens in my little, like in my anecdotal life experience, because I'm not a fucking what's this, like solipsism or some shit. Like I don't think this entire universe revolves around me. Is the aggregate gets a vote, you know? So if the aggregate is Mountain Dew swilling, fucking TV believing shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what's going to show up on my fucking door, you know? So I guess what I'm trying to get at with the people in the military that I'm still like in contact with is like, hey, I'm sorry that it's this time, bro. I'll fucking hit y'all with some Lord of the Rings shit. Like I'm not all, you know, I wish this time had not have come to me in the Lord of the Rings parlance, right? Yeah. When I was active duty running around doing shit, it was IED time. When I joined to be an EOD tech, IEDs weren't a problem, bro. I was trying to be a lazy piece of shit. Like I was tired of being in the infantry and I was trying to do lazy shit. I saw the guys who were waiting for the missile to misfire and I was like, word, that seems like a pretty good gig. And I don't have anything else going on in my life. So I'm going to re-enlist. So, but during that time, like 2004, early 2004, I was graduating EOD school and guess what? IEDs are the fucking flavor we savor, neighbor. Like I'm watching in Iraq as IED things just fucking get control, right? And then IEDs were the large part of my life for a large part of my life. And you know, hey, I signed the fucking contract. You know, when the call came down the line, I usually wasn't that far from the front anyway, that there was a bomb. There was nobody else I could fucking pass the buck to, you know, like that day I was going to walk my monkey ass up there and cut these fucking wires, you know? Sorry. That's just how it panned out for me. I think we're in the time now where we really seriously need to ask our military, you know, about this domestic part of the fucking all threats, foreign and domestic question.
Yeah.
Like, hey, fellas, it's really gals and fellas, you know, it's really kind of obvious that there's problems with the command structure. Right, the buck stops with the commander in chief. Right, at the very minimum, it seems like there might be undue foreign influence at the very least for our CI friends out there. You know, like, and the point of the matter is, like, to follow an order, there must be a lawful order given by a competent authority. You know, so like if Biden's retarded, that's not a competent authority. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't accept an order from a retarded person. You know, if somebody's compromised, you know what I'm saying? Like that, then that's not a fucking lawful order. So I guess what I'm getting at is at what point there's no respite coming from any Department of fucking Justice thing for any of this thing. Like, at what point does it fall onto the fucking shoulders of the military, man? And in how would that even look if it did? I guess, like, what? Let me just phrase the question: what responsibility do you all feel, like senior members of the fucking military, like dudes that have been in long enough to realize that the GWAT was a scam?
Yeah.
Like, what do you all feel is the responsibility of these folks' time now?
Like the responsibility of the people in and out.
Yeah, in the military, like right now.
To inform themselves, to learn about all this stuff as much as possible, and to start opening their mind to possibly organizing, intellectually, or at least schematically, on what they're going to do. Start making plans, because your officers are part of the problem, dude. Your leadership is not going to lead you to the promised land with this stuff. They are they're all corrupted, man. So I don't know, dude. I just organize, learn from the Marxists, as much as I hate them, but like, corrupt from within, organize, start taking it apart from the inside. But yeah.
To Jordan's point, in another chat that I'm with some dudes, it was pointed out that no fewer than 3 MARSOC commanding generals, so almost a fucking third of everybody that's ever commanded MARSOC, were fellows of the Council on Foreign Relations.
Yeah.
So they've got the stamp from the fucking CFR on them before they were MARSOC commanding generals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
Wow.
They're all compromised, man. All those people.
Yeah, you don't get to be a general unless you fucked a pig or whatever they have you do, and they're still
Dude, that's a great episode.
Right. Well, whenever we were in, weren't there people like us that were trying to scream at the void to the military, say, hey, Iraq, Afghanistan, but at that time we were just like, fuck you. This is what we're doing. And are they doing that? If we went to a naval ship and started telling people all this, or how fast are we going to get shooed off just by the little guy, not even the big guy? But I hope they would. I don't know. I feel like people are more in tune to it today, just with the technology and cell phones and everything.
That is a good point, and that's what I was going to say. Is when you look in hindsight, I mean, I think my first real email address was like 2001, maybe 2002, man. Like, basically we didn't have the hindsight. Like, we didn't have 20 years of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Just being like, oh, don't worry about it. And we're going to leave $80 billion worth of gear or whatever on the tarmac,
so they can attack Pakistan with it.
Yeah, dude. So I hear what you're saying, Chad, but I think for the guys that are in now, that like they almost can't. You have to be, dude, at this point in time with the technology that we have in front of us, you almost have to be willfully ignorant.
There's no excuse for it. Yeah.
Yeah, of fucking history, like but is that a product of programming of the people that go in nowadays? Trevor, what do you think, man? Like, is there a responsibility for folks that are in now to fucking? And I don't even know what that responsibility is, dude. Asking questions might be a good start.
I think we're at the point now where the responsibility is to just start throwing motherfuckers from the roofs, and you're not going to be able to do it alone. And the thing is really,
just hypothetically, we're not saying anybody should do anything, but that's hypothetically speaking.
Really, hypothetically, we should have been the ones to do it, but we, like you're saying, we didn't have the knowledge that we do now, as far as the hindsight, because it's only going to get more rooted and it's going to get harder to pull that tooth. But somebody's got to do it, otherwise we're going to keep trending towards just full on 1984. And I don't think that it's up to the guys in the military to do it alone. I think that they need to network and establish communities, and this is what we should be doing too, as people on the outside of whatever this is, so that we can be organized to secure our own futures, because they're going to keep eroding our sovereignty, our liberty. There's no evil mitigates towards absurdity, and they're going to keep mitigating until somebody puts a foot in their ass. And I don't think there's any way out of it other than if we want to keep the country. If we want to let it go and just do something else and start something different, then that's great. We can talk about that. But if we're talking about preserving what it has been, to the degree that we want to preserve it, because I think a lot of this Masonic shit has been here since the beginning, and it's just kind of part of the rot. But if we want to take what exists and reform it into something that we could actually be proud of, then we got to actually fucking put our money where our mouths are.
I think it's okay not to know yet, too. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the adventure, dude. Like what I was saying, our consciousness is rising at the same time. Like, really exciting, positive things are happening at the same time as these dark things, dude. Like, and who knows what we'll be capable of when it comes to the point we have to, throw the ring in the volcano or whatever. I can't remember if Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. What were y'all's initial thoughts with the Charlie Kirk whenever that happened, like the day that happened?
WWF, baby.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
here, I'll just throw my 2 cents in real quick. It's I honestly didn't really know who the guy was. I mean, like it's to me when I literally, like, I had to like look into the guy. Like, I didn't know who the fuck he was. Like, I guess in my peripheral, I was just like, okay, he's like, you got to vote harder. And I'm like, bro, voting is fucking fake. Do anybody that comes at me with any kind of two-party anything, any kind of this party or that party, any kind of you got to vote, I'm like, player, you ain't real. So when I saw him, when I saw the video, it looks to me like he got killed. I've seen enough people get killed that looks like somebody getting killed, like that starchy kind of fucking look, like that surprise kind of like fucking starchy look in the blood. Now, like, that looks like a motherfucker dying. So I don't think it was faked. If I had to throw money at it, it would be like that little clip mic he had on might have fucking had like a little tiny fucking EFP in it, like an explosive form penetrator. I saw something similar at a national laboratory. And his bodyguards don't have great resumes, so, and that psychopath fucking daughter of Michael Aquino that he was married to.
Yes, that's what I was wanting to get to.
It's so yeah, that was my take, Chad, was that it is same as Jordan, man. Fucking like it was a staged assassination. Like,
you don't think it was the furry fucker?
No, dude. What are you getting towards, Chad?
It seemed with the Erica Kirk stuff, I mean, I feel like it's very demonic. I feel like she's very demonic.
Like, whenever you ever seen violence like that on social media, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was on everything. It was on everything.
Part of the psyop was traumatizing people.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. It was like on purpose. I didn't even ask to see that video. I saw it 5 times without even trying.
Yeah. And then the guy that sent it to me, I got into an argument with because he went the way of like, yeah, you get what you deserve kind of shit. And I was like, dude, what? Like, I didn't know the guy either, Cody.
Yeah.
But as soon as people came out and started calling him like homophobe and racist and anti-Semitic and all that shit, I'm like, those are the words you use when you're lying.
Yeah.
And so then I looked into it. I'm like, the guy was a tool. He was a puppet for Israel, for sure. But I don't think he was a bad guy. And I think that he was waking up too, and they offed him for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they could have been like, hey man, this guy's worth more. I mean, he's served his purpose and he's no longer useful.
Well, if he turns on him, then that's a whole like that, if you wind up the toy, and the toy, it's a little mechanical hatchet, and then the mechanical hatchet turns and starts trying to chop at you, because that's essentially what was happening. Was he was like, hey, all these, Israeli NGOs are mass importing, Somalis and Muslims and whoever else, and they're primarily Jewish NGOs. He's like, that's weird. And so, of course, the guys with all the money running the NGOs were like, yeah, maybe we'll shoot him. That's what I think.
I mean, the fact that and the more that I looked at it as it unfolded, I think Aaron and I gave it a little soak time before we even bothered talking about it. And that's really what you should do with all these fucking things is give it a little soak time. I mean, there's no reason why life should proceed at the pace that it does these days, dude. This is like a new thing.
It's insanely fast.
Like our ancestors would have, years to ruminate on shit. And nowadays they want everybody to make like a decision quick and run with it forever. Like just let, like their story is gonna evolve. Their story is gonna change. They're gonna get on TV and say 33 fucking 5 times. So just like kind of look to see where it pans out. And the fact that this broad is on like this Turning Point USA WWE style, once again, like funeral and shit, you're like, okay. This is nobody else sees anything weird with this. There's an experiment. I frequently say that there's 3 experiments that we're all operating under, which is the Ash conformity experiment, the Milgram experiment, and the Stanford prison experiment. In the Ash conformity experiment, what they find is that when it's a groupthink experiment, so are you guys familiar with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, they show us a problem and everybody around us gives the wrong answer. And, 70% of the time, everybody goes along with the fucking wrong answer. I think that really is where we're at. I think 70% of people out there like look at the television and, they've been probably steered to one side or the other, the left or the right, but they immediately choose one of those dialectics when it comes off the TV. And it's probably like 70%, man. So there's probably a 30% of people out there who, and just for fucking 3 threes, we'll just break it down. Like, 10% of people probably, it's actually 4% according to this book I read called The Psychopath Test, but like 4% are fucking psychopaths, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an insanely powerful fucking game hack, is to be a psychopath. And 10% of people probably lean towards righteousness, and they set up reality tunnels to catch those people, cops, military, and then maybe there's a 10% in there who are like, I just want to be left the fuck alone, and they're not going to do anything. And the psychopaths understand what really all they have to do is sideline that 10% of people with a, if they swing to the left of the pendulum to psychopathy, there's got to be people. That M. Night Shyamalan movie, if I'm fucking, if I'm super weak, there's got to be a dude that's super strong.
Yeah.
So I think they're just planning to sideline that sliver of the super strong, because they know 70% of the people are gonna be like, oh yeah, dude, the Bears are gonna play the fucking Ducks this season in Super Hockey Bowl. Like, dude, I found this old book, man, like in an antique store. And I picked it up because one, it's old. I'm like, hey, cool, man. Let me see if it was written before the time that they started telling lies and shit.
Yeah.
But basically, it's called Fair Gods and Stone Faces, and it's either 63 or 68 is when it was published. But it was, hypothesizing that there was contact between the old world of South America and the old world of Phoenician Canaanites. In this book, essentially, they're saying that like, hey, the Phoenicians sailed their happy ass over to South America, and that's where you get Quetzalcoatl and all these places.
Yeah.
But so what she quotes in here, it's a female author. What she quotes in here is a dude from 50 years prior. They're at Chichen Itza, and they're pointing out like how many ball courts they have. They got these ball courts, and this previous archaeologist from like 1910, so 50 years before, he called the explosion of ball courts or coliseums or like useless entertainment like that. He called it the false activity of decay. And basically, he put in his hypothesis that towards the end of every civilization, you saw shit tons of theaters, shit tons of ball courts, shit tons of fucking all this other nonsense. It's activity that looks like it's activity, but it's activity that produces nothing.
Yeah.
It's towards the end of a fucking empire.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at, man, is they know they've got this 70% of people that are going to watch. Oh, hey, which halftime show is better, Kid Rock or this fucking Puerto Rican guy, dude? Like, it's yeah, that's where I think we're at.
Do they do that to make it easier for like to set up the next great reset for the like a mass brainwashing?
Maybe. I mean, I think we're in one of those periods. I'm usually reading like 4 books at a time because I got like fucking OCD. I'll just get bored of one and switch to another one, or one will get too heavy. So I got to fucking jump to something lighter, you know? And so the other one I'm reading besides this is a couple Greeks. Plotinus is one, and the Aeneas, and Proclus. Aaron found this cool bookstore called Book Tree Publishing in San Diego. And it's actually we had no idea. It was actually the guy who owns this named Paul Tice. And Paul Tice is the publisher of Jason Brashears from Archaics, which I'm a fan of. So I was in there talking with Paul. And Paul was personal friends with fucking Jordan Maxwell. And like, you know, I'm like picking this dude's brain. And we bought like $200 worth of books from the dude.
Yeah.
Jordan, man, if you're anywhere near there, you got to go check that shit out.
Yeah. I didn't know that, dude. I was just watching a Jordan Maxwell video.
I'll text you the information. Paul Tice, Book Tree Publishing in San Diego. It's worth the drive.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So I asked him, I was like, hey man, like, you know, you've been down this rabbit hole for so long. Like, can you point out what you would offer somebody to read inside this bookstore, right? Aaron and I were trying to get a show with him going, and we were actually down there helping out some Navy SEALs running exercise. So like we had a tight schedule. Hilarious, actually. But so he pointed out 2 books to me for sure that I bought and read. One of them was Gods of Eden from William Bramley, Gods of Eden. And what it proposes is that, you know, there's a controlling class. He doesn't go so far as to say extraterrestrial and what the fuck that even means. I think extraterrestrial means more Earth.
Yeah, it's reified. Yes. It doesn't mean anything, you know?
But he proposes that there's a class that keeps humanity fucking governed. And by governed, I mean controlled, held back, like governing in the sense that you put a governor on a fast car to keep it from going fast.
Yeah.
And he mentions in there the wars between secret societies, which is why I do give a lot of credence to that kind of thinking where, you know, is it this crime family that's trying to get the upper hand on this crime family, you know, and maybe the Genoveses are better than the Bonanos, you know, maybe they're psychopaths and they aren't, but they're both crime families. I do lend credence to that. But the other book he gave me was one of Manly P. Hall's productions of old Greek literature, where one of them is like this dude, I think it's Proclus, talking about the infinite nature of time. Basically, they're pontificating, these old Greeks, that, you know, the universe was neither created, like it's been here forever. Like there is no creation, there is no destruction. Like it's a you know, you can't corrupt it into something because it can't corrupt into something because then that would be something different than what's held within the universe, the thing that is corrupted into, and it can't elevate to something because then that would be something extra universal as well, type thing. So it's an interesting thing where I got to read every paragraph like 15 times to realize to make sure my stupid ass picks it up, you know?
Yeah. Me too.
I'm not sure where that tangent was going, so jump in.
The Greeks knew what they were talking about, man. The Greeks, and when you talk about the Jews, their esotericism is so powerful. Well, dude, like the Sefer Yetzirah, which is the prominent Kabbalah, came out right after Pythagoras put his stuff out, dude. It's just Neo-Pythagorism, man. I think, I don't know, because before that they were doing Merkava stuff, which was like doing this weird equation that was like the picture of God, and like somebody did what the actual picture looked like, and God is just like got like a giant head and like arms too long. It's like
Stephen Hawking.
It's just like you know, like really, really primitive stuff. So all of a sudden they just like jumped into Neo-Pythagoreanism as a coincidence. Like, no, I don't think so, dude. I think you were influenced by the Greeks, man. So I don't know. That's but I think a lot of the answers I think a lot of those Greeks were on par with the yogis that we think about in the 10th century and stuff. Like, I think they were very spiritually advanced. Like, there's stories of like Socrates getting followed around by people because he was so magnetic and stuff like that. Like, I just think there's a lot of truth there. I think.
I think we've been cut off from that. Like,
yeah.
I think that we're in an age where everybody's so materialistic and scientismo that, you know, all the stuff that these dudes were doing with meditation and, you know, there's the jinn and there's this and there's, you know, they just kind of have this encyclopedic knowledge of the spiritual, and they're just so like, oh no, they're just lying or making it up, and it's like, are you really?
Yeah, and trying to recreate that has become so difficult because you've got people that are talking about they have these advanced like grimoires or you know, the Eastern have these advanced ritual sadhanas and stuff. But when you look at the Chinese medicine, you're like, you would never do that unless your Dantian was activated, your inner energy. So, and you're activating your inner energy. Well, who's teaching you how to do that? The Sufis, maybe. The Nigong Chinese will teach you how to do that. But like, you know, in a lot of the Eastern ones, they just show you how to do a sadhana, and they don't teach you those basic things. So like everything is fragmented, trying to like recreate the skillful means that those people all had, that I think the Greeks had. It's hard, man. It's hard. And that's why, like, although YouTube people are full of shit, like, you mentioned Kundalini on YouTube and you have like 100 comments about people saying about their Kundalini awakening. I'm like, none of you have a Kundalini awakening, dude. You'd be on the news if you had a Kundalini awakening, dude. God. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's wrap with this, man. I often consider that what we're witnessing is like an end times pageant, right? Like I'm a huge fan of that Wag the Dog movie. And, you know, they're talking about, hey, we're building a pageant, right? And it seems like they're building out a Book of Revelation style, you know, burn the heifers, rebuild the fucking temple. Like we're building like an end times thing. And if we're building towards an end times thing, then there has to be an Antichrist presented. And in the Greek, unless I'm mistaken, Antichrist is not singular. It's like plural. There is like a multiple of people. And I don't wave a flag of, I don't consider myself a Christian. I think if the mythology were to work out, that a man that turned out to actually be this person they're talking about called Jesus showed up, I'm pretty sure he'd be upset with me on 2 or 3 things, but the rest of it we'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? So, but I feel like Christianity was one of the things that helped, as it's presented writ large in a lot of cases, was one of the things that pushed me towards atheism.
Yeah, me too.
For guys who are recently either, you know, back onto Christianity or as we approach what might be this end times pageant, man, we might be presented with a Messiah, man. So for you guys, what is that? I've only read so far into the Bible to get to the begatting part, and the part where Noah gets drunk and his son sees his ass and then gets fucking damned forever, and I'm out, dude. And I just like I try to live a life where my fruits represent what I am, where you can tell who I am by my work type thing. So I think I'm in line with what Jesus was trying to get happening. But if you're following Christianity now, like, what are the things that you will use to help discern the Antichrist from, and is the return of Jesus a particular individual soul, an individual expression, or is it just the rise of that consciousness amongst us all? Like, how do you guys see that?
I think it's the rise of the consciousness.
Yeah. I think if Christianity like represents like a specific egregore, and it's like a really unique egregore that came aware of itself and like possibly sent a human down and like try to experience humanity. Like, that's really interesting to me. I don't need to like swear fealty to it because I'm not a medieval peasant, So that's fine. If it doesn't work for you, dude, there's like speculative physics, like Dan Winter and stuff. He's explaining it in physical terms, like your bees like represent that potentiated fractality that is chi, or is that energy. Like, dude, that's all you need. You don't whatever works for you, but it's all there, man. Like, the whole thing's waking up. So just like, I mean, you could just hang out with a tree and you'd wake up, dude. Like, you don't really need, like, you don't need all that stuff. But I do think Christianity represents a very like elevated skill. Like, if you're wanting to tap into that, it works, man. You go to a Latin mass and you're like, whoa. Now if you're worrying about the schematics, I'm like, oh, am I gay or whatever? Is it against the law? I don't know. Like, I don't know how to help you because I don't worry about that stuff. So, but like, like there's like, all the semantics and stuff. I know like that's exoteric to me. That's like outside stuff. Like, I don't know. It's really not my forte. I'm talking about like the interior castle, like Teresa Avila talked about, like St. John of the Cross, like this interior experience, this primordial wisdom that's possible. You taste a drop of it, the bliss, and you're like, okay, I'll do this forever now, so that's all I really care about. And I think that's our path forward, humanity, because we're all like kind of experiencing that. I think when I look at you guys and hear your stories, I think we're all experiencing that, which is like even more exciting than just me. Oh, am I Neo? Like, wow, dude, am I Kung Fu? Like, I'm going to be a special boy. Like, no, that would be lame. that would suck. No, it's happening to all of us at the same time. That's pretty exciting. So you just choose your color or choose your aesthetic, or, choose your funny hat you want to wear. If you want to wear a wizard hat, wear that. If you want to wear a pirate hat, wear a pirate hat. But like, I wouldn't be worried about like rules of the church or all that stuff. Like, that bums you out. Just go to the physics side of it, man. Like, man, it's crazy, dude. There's a whole world up there going on,
I agree.
Trevor, you got anything on that?
Yeah, the end time stuff from the Christian perspective, and I just got here 5 minutes ago. I'm not an expert on any of this, but it's kind of like how I put together.
Sometimes the new guy's got the best view, man.
Sometimes. But as you were hinting at, there's some things that have to happen. There's the red heifer and the sacrifice. The sacrifice leads into the rebuilding of the second temple, which I guess makes it the third temple. Yeah. And then the Antichrist actually commands from that throne in the third temple. So there's things that happen that lead up to it. And basically the way you discern Christ from Antichrist is that he's not going to be calling shots from that temple. That's for the bad guy. And as far as the sputters and spits and the almost Antichrist, they people have attributed that to Hitler, to Trotsky or Stalin.
Dick Cheney.
I think,
I said Dick Cheney.
Cheney, dude. Cheney. I think Netanyahu's one. So there's going to be the sputters, and then the next guy, and then there's different. I'm getting outside of where I'm actually comfortable, like saying anything with any sort of certainty. But that's kind of the gist. It's all laid out, and one of the things that hit me up to the Christian stuff is that if you go back through the Bible and you just don't assume fuckery. I know that's a tough sell, and that's probably not always. I'm a big like where's the fuckery guy, so that was my hang up for the longest time. But if you go back and you look at some of the stuff that's in the Bible, it predicts historical things that we can verify. There's one of the Psalms is David talking about a dream he had where he's like nailed through the palms and nailed through the feet, and his mouth goes dry and his heart turns to wax and he can't breathe. And you read that in the context of post crucifixion and you go, oh, that sounds like a crucifixion, what he's describing. Now that was written like 1,000 years before the Romans brought crucifixion as a punishment to the Middle East. So that's interesting. Then there is I can't remember exactly what book, but one of the books talks about how after the Messiah is severed from the earth, a prince will come and destroy the temple, talking about the temple in Jerusalem. And so 70 AD, which is 30 some odd years after the crucifixion, Titus, who I think is like the son of a Roman emperor or something, like he's not a prince because they're technically an empire, but like if you're thinking about it in a Bronze Age capacity, he's a prince. Like he fills that role, he fills that spot in the hierarchy, and he comes in and he wrecks Jerusalem. And all the stuff that we're seeing now with like the trannies running around killing people and all this gaggle of horrors that is constantly marching through the country. If you crack open, and this isn't biblical text, but it's the book of Josephus, which is still ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge. It's parabiblical, but there's a verse in there, and once I can find it if anybody's interested, but there's a chapter and a section where there's this Jewish warlord who literally is just storming through these, I think it's like Galilee, one of the, like this, I guess the suburbs of Jerusalem, if you can put it that way. But he's just got an army of like tranny assassins, and they're just like storming around like
Slanesh worshipers.
Yeah. And it's like, so it's like none of this is new. Like this has all been done before. And for me, I'm waving the flag. I'm waving the Jesus flag, and I'm not going to go tell anybody else they're wrong for whatever they think. I'm not that guy. But that's where I'm at, and it would take a whole other podcast for me to go through all the stuff that has happened where now I'm on that boat now. But long and the short of it is like there's a lot of stuff going on that people are just now starting to figure out.
Dude, I will say that I was an atheist for the majority of my life, including all the really dangerous shit.
Yeah, me too.
And it took me seeing the fucking evil that goes on in this world for me to find the light, dude. Like it took me researching the fucking darkness to be like, oh, well, the world works off of polarity. And if that exists, then that is in opposition to something else. And I am personally on the side of this other thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what it is for me, man. I'm just, I'm putting a name on it. You might not be, you might have other ideas, but that's where I'm planting my flag.
I did the same thing last November. I got baptized, and that's something that I never in my life thought would happen. And we've been going to church. My family and I have been going to church. And I remember before I got baptized, we're standing in church, and I hated it. I just couldn't stand it. It was like I was guilty or something. It was just saying like, you don't fucking deserve this. But I remember looking down, and I saw my whole family. I saw my kids, my wife, and it brought so much joy to me. And then the next thing, they were like, hey, if you haven't been baptized, like, here's your sign. And so that was kind of my role into it. Because the last time I was on here, I'm pretty sure I might have said I was an atheist or something. But yeah. And since then, I mean, it's been awesome. It's just it like checks me. So.
Dude, when you become dead to yourself, when you kill yourself in service of something greater than yourself, that's when you awaken as a man, dude. Like we got tastes of it being parts of teams, and being parts of things. And what I found is like I'm on the journey to become a father right now. We're doing the in vitro is like like, dude, fuck all the military shit, fuck anything else, dude. Like, when you show up every day for your family, man, like, that is what makes you a man. Like, whatever your needs are, don't fucking matter. You know, when your family is taken care of, it doesn't, like, it. You've checked every fucking box, dude. So that's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. It's awesome to hear.
Well, man, that's about 2 hours, man. Is there anything we didn't hit before we want to get out of here?
Hell yeah, there's a ton of stuff we didn't hit, but
I mean, I think we hit the big stuff.
Yeah.
I can't stress to people enough, man, that if you're not looking to team up with like-minded individuals in any way, shape, or form, that is, like in business, you know, and starting whatever, fucking a homestead, and reconnecting with conversations like this, have fucking fire talks with the boys, man. Like you're gonna, man, I will assess that you're gonna need to know who your people are.
Absolutely.
Is what I'll leave it with, man. Then I'll put it around the horn to you guys, man. But like, dude, you vibe with your tribe, man. Like I think about things through movies and TVs and shit, but that because it's how I was fucking raised. It wasn't like I had like mentors and shit besides the fucking television.
Right.
But I think of that old, what was it, like the 90s version of the TV movie, the Stephen King's The Stand, you know?
Yeah.
I never read the book.
Yeah.
But basically, you know, when times get tough, man, you're going to stand with who's righteous and who's willing to stand beside you. And they may not look like the person you thought it was going to, you know, like my thing to end this out is like this, man. You find the souls that you resonate with, man. I can remember smoking cigarettes with you guys at the back of the truck, dude. I can remember through the years, like seeing you again in California. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, it's just, my heart just felt better when I saw you guys, man. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, it's so if you don't have those people in your life, or you do, and they're not close to you, man, like get them closer, man. Like, you guys are welcome here anytime, dude. I don't care what time you show up. You know, I know Chad's got a chunk of land out there, man. Like, it's, things might get weird, man. So like, reach out to people, man. That's what I'll end with. Chad, you start.
Man, I've been trying to get Jordan to move here to Oklahoma for several years now.
Yeah.
Nothing special, but just maybe try something. Just land. It's different out here than California.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
But I just want to say thank you for letting me come back on and bullshit with you. I respect the hell out of you guys. So I got to meet my heroes a long time ago. They always tell you, not meet your heroes, but you guys, and I can name a good handful of guys that are definitely better probably than me to be on here. And I mean, my heart goes out to you guys.
Oh yeah, bro.
Jordan, you want to go next?
Yeah, I just keep thinking of that video you made, Cody, once, where you're like get it together, like you got like I'm still in California, I don't have any land. Yeah, I got to get my act together. I think I always think if it gets real bad, am I going to make it to Oklahoma or North Carolina in time? But I guess it'll be an adventure. But we'll see. We'll see if I make it to you guys or not. It'll be like The Stand, man.
It's your exodus, man. You just got to get here.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I think that's the future, is communities and us like working the land, whether we want to or not. I think that's what's going to happen. So it's probably better now than, later.
Hell yeah. Trevor, you got it, man. Last word.
Yeah. I'd say, find your people, build your people, build your people. I've offered to take people out and train marksmanship, tactics, trauma medicine, all that kind of stuff. No one ever takes me up on it, and that bothers me. I don't like what that indicates as far as complacency among the regular citizens. But if you've got a place to hole up and make a stand, do it. great. I'm still in a sense running towards the gunfire. Like I'm still plugged into the beast intentionally for purposes of specifically trying to get in and extract people out of it if I can. Who knows how I might end up getting gobbled up myself, but that's where I'm at now. But build your tribe if you don't have one. If you have one, protect it, and that's that.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, that's the whole reason I come on here, dude, is to go back into the matrix and find souls that are ready to come the fuck out, man. You know, like who the hell would I be knowing what I think I know and like keeping my mouth shut about it? You know, if I can find 2-3 people, and Aaron and I get messages like this it's not all the time, but it's frequent enough for me to keep going, man, which is like, hey, dude, you know, we'll get a message from somebody, you know, who was a little, you know, serious people, man, who were a little wilded out by what we would say. And, you know, we just got one not too long ago from a dude, you know, serious dude, like, hey, you guys were right about fucking everything. And it's never, you know, it's never great, dude, because I hate fucking being right about anything, you know, but
it's about that shit.
Yeah, but it's good in the sense that, you know, it's, if I would have kept my mouth shut, if I wouldn't have kept fucking talking, you know, like if we wouldn't have this show, you know, if we wouldn't say the things we do and provide at least a pathway to find the information that we're basing it on, you know. So yeah. So sorry, Trevor. You had, my last word for real this time is that I'm just trying to face the fucking end, man. When I have to go before whatever the judgment is, because everybody says there is one. That you know, even if it is a game, dude. Even if you get there and we find out it was a fucking party and it was a game and we, you know, like we all just jumped in here to do some crazy experience, man. Like this ride that I'm on now, like I just want to make sure that I did everything I could to make it good for fucking everybody, you know. Well, hey man, I love having you guys on, man, and like
Thanks.
You guys are some of my heroes, man. Every time I saw you guys in the place where we were, I fucking felt better. You know,
Thanks, man.
I was like, man, I'm out here fucking frapping. I'm gonna get my ass shot off. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Like, here's these dudes. we at least got today, you know, like Lucero and Loyal ain't gonna get us killed today.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow, man, but we got today.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate all you guys being here, man. Your opinions and your stories and hearing from you on the phone and everything mean a ton to me, man. And dude, we're kind of it, bros. So keep holding the line, fellas. I love you and I respect the shit out of you.
Likewise, thank you.
I'm gonna hit fucking end on this thing, so you guys don't have to go anywhere. We can wrap it up afterwards. But thanks everybody for listening. And anybody want to plug anything? I know you got bands and stuff.
Not yet. I got some songs that are getting mastered, but they're not out yet. So
okay, no worries, man. We'll just it won't be so long until we do this next time. That's my fault, man. I appreciate it. So thanks for listening, everybody. I'm gonna hit end record, and y'all have a good night.